there's always a few students come up to me and ask me, you know, how I graduate, or how can I graduate, or what do I got to do? And I want to explain that so that doesn't happen again, but you can graduate. Chances are you won't do it here, but you can graduate. The students who have graduated here have generally finished 10th, preferably 11th grade, because they're going to only be here about a year and a half to complete their studies. So if you have completed the 10th or 11th, we'll work with you, and unless you want to stay 3 or 4 years, you can graduate here. But otherwise, you know, I'd like to see you go back and graduate. I always thought it'd be great to have 5 or 10 people walk up the aisle and graduate, but I don't think it'll ever happen. It is an honor to be part of the ceremony. I feel that I'm a representative for, and there should be a lot of people up here part of it, besides me, the group leaders and supervisors and the group itself, as well as the teachers and the staff who work with Charlie, have just done a tremendous job supporting him and helping him in many different ways. And it's his success is really our success. And this isn't just his graduation for high school, it's really his graduation from the school, from the program, because he'll be leaving shortly after the ceremony. And I haven't worked directly with Charlie like some of the students and staff have, but I have seen a tremendous amount of growth during the last year and a half. My first involvement was in a treatment team with Charlie, which is a kind of a evaluation to set some goals. When he first came here about over a year ago. And I remember Charlie, he was down at Tanaka, and he seemed distant, he seemed closed off, remote, removed from the group. And you know, I even questioned, you know, how he would do here. But he's had tremendous success here. And being kind of afar from him, I can see so much growth he's made. Because if you're real close, like some of the group members are, you can't see the games day to day as well as you can when you're somewhat removed. One of the things about Charlie, though, is he's always been an excellent student here. He's excelled here. In fact, he came in and he was in the 12th grade when he came in. He only needed about 3 credits to graduate. One was in government, one was in English, and one was in math. And so we tried to accommodate him. We gave him, you know, a government course, an English, 12th grade English course. But when it came to math, we found out that we didn't have a book high enough for Charlie. He has tremendous math skills. We had to go out and order a separate book for him because he had finished general mathematics, he had finished algebra, he finished trigonometry and geometry, and we had to go out and get a book called Functions, which is almost like calculus, and it's one of those books where, if you ever looked at some of those advanced level math books, it's where they don't even use numbers, they use everything Y's, and it's really confusing. We're fortunate to have some teachers who understand that. But it hadn't always been that way for Charlie. Before he came to Newton Indian School, he had barely got by. He was in 12th grade, but he was truant a lot, and he wasn't going to school much. He was barely passing. He was a potential dropout, and he was starting to get in trouble. But when he came here, the structure and support of the program, plus his determination, has really made him successful. And he's had a lot of accomplishments here, not just graduating, and a few of those, maybe I'll go over. He earned his crest. First of all, he took on the challenge and ran the New Dominion 5-kilometer race. He won a statewide essay contest. He was selected for our advanced group, Lakota, and he was also a student of the week, which is kind of an honor we don't give every week, but he was nominated for student of the week twice, and of course this is one of the weeks he was student of the week. And we have a quote over our Student of the Week sign, which we really believe in, and you know, I feel strongly kind of represents where Charlie's at and what he's learned here. And it goes like this: perhaps the most valuable result of all education is the ability to make yourself do the thing you have to do, when it ought to be done, whether you like it or not. It is the first lesson that ought to be learned. It's also the last lesson that we all thoroughly learn. He's found the ability to make himself do the things he needs to do, whether he likes it or not. And he's going to take that with him. It's basically an idea of self-discipline. He's learned self-discipline out here. And of course, with self-discipline, there's always sacrifices to be made and things to be given up and choices to be made. And he's going to be running into some of those choices, like all of us, throughout his life. It's going to be making a choice or making yourself do things that are hard. There's hundreds of examples. It may be meaning making yourself get up in the morning and go to school. It may mean making yourself turn off the TV and stereo and do your homework or do your studies. Making yourself stay away from drugs and alcohol. Making yourself stay away from negative friends. Making yourself stay away from any kind of dishonesties or lying, stealing, cheating, whatever. So those choices are going to be difficult for him as well as for all of us. But he's going to make himself do those things that need to be done. And I think he's learned that out here a lot. He's learned how to discipline his life. Another area which I see, and I'm talking to a supervisor and some of the staff particularly, he's learned how to trust. When he first came into the program, he was like I said, he was closed off. But he's learned how to trust people. He's learned how to trust the students, first of all. He's learned how to trust the staff. He's learned how to trust the program. And as a result, he's been able to open himself up, get close to people, take risks, be able to talk about his fears, about his doubts, about his problems. And as a result, he's gained a lot of respect back and a lot of trust back, and where he's become a central figure in his group, and he's going to be well missed. I want to tell you a little bit about one achievement he had about 6 months ago, kind of tells you where Charlie was then and pretty much where he is today. There was a nationwide contest, but actually each state picked 4 representatives to go to Washington, D.C. for National Children's Day. And what was required was to write an essay, and we have the essay posted back there if you want to read it. Essay about the program you're in and how it meets the needs of the students. And it was a risk for him to do that. And Charlie is a pretty good writer. Even though math is his strong suit, he's a good writer too. And he took that on, and he wrote a very good essay, and he was selected as one of the representatives for Virginia, and got a letter from Governor Wilder, and went to Washington, D.C. for about a week, and met some of the senators and congressmen, and did a lot of activities in Washington. And I like to read the last part because it kind of tells about where Charlie is even today. It goes like this. I cannot stress the importance of the group setting enough, nor can I explain the strength of the relationships that students have with each other and staff members, and how important their friendships are to each person's growth. Not only do we help ourselves, but we help out each other. We are all in this together, staff and students. Without each other, the things that we accomplish, the problems that we have and work through, the self-esteem we establish, and the life and growth that we experience here cannot be possible. The program itself is not what I appreciate most. It is the people around me, the love, care, respect that they show me, and the effort they have been willing to put into me in order for me to accomplish things I have never dreamed could be. We are the ones that make this program successful. And for today, Charlie is one of the ones that makes this program successful, and I'd like him to come forward and get his diploma.
I think everybody said it. I really do want to thank everybody. I want to thank all the teachers, but especially Ms. Thompson for helping me out, and not only just being like a teacher, but helping support me and